oh, I watched Popeye cartoons when I was a kid. Oh, I have a huge collection of Popeye memorabilia. And so finding out, people who do completely different types of artwork. One of the people participating in this project is an artist named Shimi Kora, who does do some comics, but she primarily is an installation artist. And I found out that she'd actually gone to Malta to visit the original Popeye village from the movie. She went to visit the set, and she was just, so somebody who, works a completely different art form for most of her work was still so enchanted by Popeye. She actually did an installation about ships that was very much inspired by her childhood love of Popeye and her continued love of Popeye into adulthood. So getting to reach out to folks like that and bring them into the Popeye universe and letting them know with this character who's influenced them from the time they were children has been a really cool part of organizing this project. So we've got people. I've got lots of comics people, comic book people, cartoonists, some editorial cartoonists, some web cartoonists, book illustrators, and a couple people who do things like poster illustration, and just getting to see everybody's sort of perspective on this character has been a really I think educational process, and just it's been really cool to see all of the different ways that people can draw a character that we all recognize a little bit differently, and all have different parts, different aspects of that character that they identify with, or that they they remember, or that they love the most. So that's been, I think, really neat to see. I'm wondering for if any of you have like specific characteristics of Popeye that are sort of said to you, sort of define Popeye for you personally, not sort of overall.
The thing that always impressed me about the drawings have so much energy, and you just look at any drawing of Popeye, and it just pours out of him, no matter what he's doing. And I think that really holds up more than anything. It's just that he's not still for one moment, and you can just feel it moving out of him. Every little thing that he does screams life, and I think that it's hard to do when you're drawing a comic. I know I draw them all the time, and oftentimes they look very static and flat. And Popeye never, to me, ever seems that way.
Popeye was not, spinach was not what made Popeye strong to begin with. And reading the original strip, it was really kind of an amazing thing to see the first story where he the thing about him isn't that he's really a superhero or that the spinach makes his muscles get big and have tanks on the inside of him and stuff like that. The thing about him is that you just can't destroy him. He keeps coming back, and he was followed around by a character that was a precursor of the Jeep called the Whiffle Hen, which was just some MacGuffin that Seagard made up where if you rub the feathers on the Whiffle Hen's head, you would get good luck. So Castro decided, wow, we should take this hen to a gambling island out in the Pacific someplace and clean up, And so he needed somebody to sail him out there, and it just happened to be this broken down old one-eyed sailor. And so there's some kerfuffle happened with the bad guy at the time where he was shot like 12 or 13. Popeye was shot like 12 or 13 times, and he crawls down to the hull of the ship, and he spends the night dying, and he's just rubbing the hen and the chicken to just try to get some luck so he can get through the night. And lo and behold, he comes up from the bottom of the ship, fit as a fiddle, and the villain is just like, WTF, And that was the beginning of it. It was very incredible, and I took for a fan to see that happen. So I don't want to say it was a more realistic reason for the law's strength, but it was even more fantastic in some ways.
Yeah, I think for for me, it's the huge forearms, especially like in the 90s when you have like all the superheroes were turning into like these tapered, like huge shoulders and biceps, and then you get to their wrists and you know, and so it was kind of like he was so different because he was like the opposite. It was like, and that and just the cartoon physics of Popeye, which seem to have their own kind of quality. Like I always think of olive oil as kind of like this noodle, but like just how she could flop around in a way. And I think and the other characters do it too in different ways. Maybe not quite to the extent that she does in my mind. And that and Popeye talking to himself, I think it's like
Without moving his mouth.
yeah, like just like this interior monologue that becomes verbalized. I think that's the other thing that sticks out for me.
Yeah, you know, Popeye's got a good heart, and that's one of the things that really, you know, it's just, especially if you read the Seaguard comics, like he will give you the shirt off his back literally, whatever it takes to help, you know, the widows and orphans, which ain't got none. And, you know, like he'll go out of his way. You know, he doesn't always know the best way to do it, but you know, you always know he's going to be on the side of right, and there's something really good and reassuring about that.
So Shannon, you came in while we're
I
discussing
did,
the aspects of Popeye that really matter to us as, you know, individually. So if you've got anything on that.
Well, I mean, I always think of Popeye more in terms of the strip as a whole. I mean, Popeye's a great character, but I love the supporting cast, and I love the world that Seaguard creates. And when I started doing comics myself, I've been doing like online comic strips for almost 20 years now. It's a little scary, but I really liked the idea of doing an ongoing serial strip with a big storyline that was also funny and a gag strip. And Seaguard kind of did the best one of all time because Popeye has these amazing ongoing adventure plots, and they're also very funny, and they continue very nicely from day to day. And that's a really, I guess it must be a difficult format to do because not many people do it, but it was, Popeye is my favorite sort of serial adventure strip. And I took that as a major influence when I started doing my own comic strips, which are kind of in the same format. So this is that, I just like the whole world, and like, I love Seaguard's art a lot. I love this sort of DIY aspect of the art. It's rough and expressive, and would probably be like underground comic if you've been drawing at a different period of time. And I'm delighted that something that weird was able to be like an extremely popular comic strip and then become a sort of popular character and property of franchise for like decades and decades to come. He's one of the oddest comic strip heroes, and definitely comes from one of the oddest comic strips, and I really like that. It has a very personal feel to it that not all newspaper comic strips have.
So I think that's actually an amazing point to close out on. We've just got a few minutes left, so if anybody has any questions for any of our panelists or all of our panelists, there's a mic right in the center.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to step out. Robin lost his patience exactly halfway through the panel.
I have a question. Do you guys still draw with pen and ink, or are you doing it on the computer now digitally, or?
I draw with pen and ink. Even though my comics are online, almost all my actual work is on paper, and I just do touch-ups and coloring on the computer. Like this coloring is all on Photoshop, but the artwork is all pen and ink.
Yeah, mine's done with ink and a brush and ink on Bristol board. Yeah, I still love to work that way more than anything else.
Pen and ink. Sorry, pen and ink.
Yeah, same here. I like to have the finished pieces pretty much what the printed piece will look like. So coloring.
You don't have an original when you're done with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would like to learn how to do digital drawing because it's like people get amazing effects from it. And I'm always very impressed when I'm always very envious of people who just like sketch something on their Wacom and put it online immediately and it looks gorgeous. But I just haven't learned how to do it yet.
I don't think that line could be reproduced by a computer.
The
what I like about working with pen and ink as opposed to digital is first of all, I'd be really behind with digital, I think, because I would go back and I would rework and rework and rework. When you're working pen and ink, you put the ink to the paper, it's there, and whether you like it or not, you're stuck with it, and that's what gives it a very organic and loose feel. I think if I were working digital, my work would tighten up so much it would lose a great deal of energy.
Digital works for animation because you can, for some reason, you can reproduce a brush line with more accuracy than a quill line. I don't think that they'll ever really be able to, like reproduce a crow quill line. First of all, crow quill is a hard enough thing to master to begin with. It's as hard as learning how to work Photoshop. So, yes.
You had just the privilege to work on Popeye now. Which iconic character, King has so many, so you can be King one if you want, but which iconic character would you love to most tackle next if you could?
Are you talking to me or?
All of it.
All of it. Well, you're looking at me, so I'll start first. I want to draw my own characters from now on. I'm sort of done with that. Go ahead.
Well, King has actually already announced a revival of this with two artists that I really admire, so I'm sure it'll be great, but I love Alu. That's my other favorite,
Well,
like...
it's not King, that's.
Oh, it's not, it's one of your rivals, I'm sorry, but I'm still gonna say Alu because...
It's got the same arms, you know.
It is getting a relaunch with with an artist team that I really love, and I think they're great. But I really love Alu. It's my other favorite sort of oddball serial adventure fantasy strip, and it's really strange. I also really appreciate that it gives me hope because it took so long to find its footing as a strip because it was just a caveman strip for 10 years, and then V.T. Hamlin turned into a time traveling caveman strip, and that's when it took off. It had like 10 years of not being all that great, and then you had the time machine, and suddenly it's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Garfield was the first comic strip I liked when I was a kid, so I wouldn't mind doing something with Garfield, but I also feel like I drew my own Garfield comics when I was a kid so much that I don't know that I need to do it again. I don't know that to me that was different, so yeah.
Well, you've done a lot of comics about cats.
Yeah, I do a lot of cats, so.
I would love to do a crazy cat. That is my ultimate, that doesn't get any better than that for me. So T, please, start this ball rolling.
Crazy Cat is my all-time favorite character, so we'll figure out.
Bring it on, I'll sign up.
I hate to pop your bubble, but I don't think anybody should ever take over Crazy Cat.
Yeah. Well, T, I have a question for you. We didn't talk about licensing at all. I was in the store a couple years ago and I bought a can of Popeye spinach.
Yeah.
And then, wow, it's in this grocery store line everywhere. So is it still as strong as it's always been? Is it growing?
I think the food, like in food, it's very strong. We usually license Popeye spinach to actually a number of different licensees for different types of spinach products. And very cool project that Carly Schnitzer, who's here, and she's not in this room right now, but she works for King Features, and I don't know how many of you know Van Leeuwen ice cream in New York. It's this very like hipstery ice cream brand, but they have ice cream trucks and little ice cream shops all over New York City, and they're actually going to be doing a Popeye ice cream flavor. Yeah, they're doing it's an olive oil ice cream with spinach extract. So it doesn't taste like spinach. It does not taste like spinach. It's just very bright green. It's actually a salt, olive oil, and cashew flavored ice cream. I'm like dying to try it. I've heard I'm going to get to taste it next week. So if any of you are in New York, it's certainly, we don't know where the future of it is, but certainly in next week you'll be able to try it there. And then we're doing a partnership with Dinnerly, which is one of those boxed. They'll send you the recipes and send you the food so you can make a dinner for yourself. And they're doing a whole series of Popeye spinach dinners, different things that you can cook for yourself. They're Popeye themed. So there's a wimpy burger, there's an olive they'll try chicken. So I'm just like so excited about all this Popeye food.
Could you get them to do hamburger flavored ice cream?
We can work on that next. Is it free?
It's free.
On Tuesdays.
On Tuesday.
Can I just say that years ago, I had the honor of going into visiting the King Features offices, and I got to go in the room with like all the licensing submissions. It's like the King Features licensing room. It's amazing because it's about, I would estimate, because it's when like a company sent in sample products for like
Yeah.
King Features to evaluate. And I would estimate that it was like 70% Betty Boop, 20% Popeye, and 10% every other King Features character. And once you've been in that room, you can't unsee Betty Boop. Like once you've been in there, you realize how much Betty Boop merchandise there is and how much she's on everything. And so now, once you see it, you see a Betty Boop everywhere. Now I can't unsee Betty Boop. So thanks a lot, T.
You're welcome. Betty's wonderful.
She is. You don't even realize how much Betty there is.
From the audience here? Yeah?
Not really so much a question, I just wanted to mention something.
Yeah.
There is still a Popeye fan club based out of Seagar's hometown of Chester, Illinois.
Yes, there is.
And there's a Popeye museum there as well, Spinach Can Collectibles. And every year on the weekend after Labor Day, there's a 3-day Popeye festival. There are over a dozen different statues of all the Popeye characters, and I'd just like to invite any friend of Popeye to come down in September and see it. It's an amazing experience.
Also, the character was created just up the road in Santa Monica.
Are there any other questions? Yes.
Since you guys all still do pen and ink, like, what's the workflow in terms of from ink to print? Like, what is the process?
Print is sort of, well, I don't want to say print is a dying art form, but I'm still drawing pencil. I like to use black Prismacolor pencil these days. I don't know why, but I'm probably regressing as the older I get, the more I'm regressing into my childhood. But that's what I've been using. You know, the offset printing process is like another world. Okay, a totally different world from the way they print off of digital files these days. And I don't know. I scan my stuff in pen and ink, and then I want to be able to color in Photoshop. I'm tired of coloring it by hand. I've been doing that for 30 years, you know. But the world has just changed. What can I say?
I think I just appreciate the more tangible-ness.
You do, yeah?
You know, like, you're tired of looking at the light all day. I'm just
You work with a tablet?
I work with a Wacom tablet, like a Sateen.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get one soon. What's that like? You're looking at me like, don't get it.
I think you should get a Wacom tablet versus
Okay.
working on an iPad. But to be honest, whatever workflow that creates momentum for your work, awesome. And that's really where it's at, right? You just want to get your story on a page. I'm just curious how that process works. Like, like in terms of just ink and.
Well,
And this is a
working digitally go faster? Have you worked with pen and ink?
Yes,
Ever?
a little bit, but I'm like, you said you scan it, and I was like, sometimes with artwork, you take, you know, and that's the only way you'll get true color sometimes. But I'm just curious.
Well, the newspaper, because I do a newspaper comic, and our part of the work, I don't know how, some of the early ones were done in the comics, but we all digitally color in Photoshop, and then we have to send in specific files to our syndicate where they distribute it. And so you can do now a lot of techniques, you know, with it looks like watercolor and all that, and those transfer over as well. And I know there's some cartoonists that do that, and they really add texture and dimension to it. My stuff just tends to look sort of flat because I use Photoshop flat colors with vignettes, but but I think starting off with the original pen and ink drawings and scanning them, you still sort of maintain that fresh quality and feel to it. So, I love the old comic. I look back way before computers, the old days when the colors were all very flat and all of it very comic booky. And
And I still have like this texture of like if they painted on linen or something.
yeah.
Oh, T,
Yes.
can you show the last panel?
Yeah.
I'm done. Good job.
Yeah.
You're supposed to just, yeah, it's still in the black.
I'm having some difficulties because my, yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm having some difficulties because my.
Yeah.
There we go.
I felt like
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, every single one of these comics has been absolutely delightful. It's just every single time I get one in my inbox, it's just like, it makes my whole day. And I run around the office showing them to people because everyone's Popeye is so wonderful. And nobody's Popeye is exactly alike, but they're all just absolutely, absolutely thrilling to see, so,
Can I say one thing?
yeah.
I would love to collect all these strips that you commissioned and get in a time machine and go back to 1987 and show the licensing department all of these strips, just so they know what this strip is going to look like in the future. After all the problems they gave me trying to, draw it the way they wanted me to, it's just like insane. They didn't want me to draw like Seagar. My samples were originally looked like E.C. Seagar stuff. This my style was closest to that, so I had to learn how to draw like mud, which was fine. I eventually did. But I did one. I got one advertising job where I decided to get creative and color Popeye's hat blue, and the roof of the license flew off.
Yeah,
So-
no, one of the things that's been so wonderful about this is I've gotten to work with some really truly legendary creators and some folks who've never had a professional comics job before and really like sort of democratize Popeye, which I feel like is in such the spirit of what Seagar did in the early cartoon club strips. So it's been an amazing, it's been kind of an amazing adventure. And, I'd like to thank everyone here for for chatting with us about Popeye today, and again, I wish everyone here a very happy Popeye's birthday.
And there's also the exhibit